working on my blanket, thinking about working on my blanket because I can't work on my blanket, thinking about what I'm gonna work on after my blanket, which is another blanket. Hi friends, welcome back. I'm MC, a knit and crochet designer and yarn dyer from Connecticut, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Blame the Knots, on my website, blametheknots.com, and of course right here on YouTube where you can get to know me a little bit better. All of those things, everywhere you can find me, everywhere on the internet will be linked below. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. We've got some new faces around these parts. And basically what we do here is every other week, I come to you with a podcast where we talk about what I've been working on, knitting and crocheting and spinning and weaving and any other crafts that I feel like getting into. And we also talk about what I've been reading because I work in publishing. And then on the weeks in between podcasts, I do another video of some sort, whether it is a vlog or a challenge or talking about my stash or really anything fiber related. Today is Monday, November 24th. I'm filming a little bit early this week because it is American Thanksgiving this week. And we are here for episode 61 of the podcast. I am not wearing anything handmade today, not even socks, absolutely nothing, but I am wearing this shirt that says How I See a Sheep, and my husband Joe got this for me, as well as a couple of other knitting fibery related shirts. He said he fell victim to an Instagram ad, so I do have the link for where he got these from. They're great, they've held up great. I will put that down below as well. But I do have to say, my little friend back here, my little robot lamp, we have a big one now, in addition to our meddlesome little one over there. He is wearing my side long shawl, my hand spun side long shawl, which I recently finished, and you will see in some of my past podcasts from the last month or two. I have some name ideas for these two dudes, but I am not committed yet, so let me know what you think they should be called. And without further ado, now that we've gotten all of that admin stuff out of the way, let's jump in to finished objects. I actually only have one finished object to show you today, and I actually don't even have it here with me to show you. So I will have to pop in a picture. I finished a quilt that I was making for my nephew for his first birthday, which was over the summer, but my sewing machine was at the doctor for a little bit, for a few weeks. And then with moving offices and stuff, I just didn't have a good place to set up and do it and get the quilting done. So I finally did it. I feel horrible that I was late, but also, you know, I think that's kind of like a rule with handmade gifts, is that they might not always be there exactly for the event. But I made this quilt for my nephew. It was a lot of fun. As you can tell, if you've been here before, I'm sitting in a different spot than I usually have been, and that's because I finally got a space set up where I can sew and sit and talk to you. And so it has been absolutely wonderful, and it was really fun to get that quilt wrapped up. I used two charm packs and all the other fabric that I used for the binding and the backing was from Fat Quarter Shop online, and they were all from the same collection. I do not know if this fabric is still available. I've had it for quite a while. This is going to be a very quick and dirty episode because once again, I don't have very much to talk about in whips either. So let's talk about the big one, the one that a lot of you are already aware that I'm working on and have seen me working on for a while. And this is, oh boy, oh no, I'm tangled. I don't think I can get the whole thing in frame. This is my Moana blanket. Can you even hear me through it? This is my Moana blanket. It is gigantic. I have not measured it so far. I do not know how big it is. I feel like I remember according to my gauge a long time ago when I cast it on, it was gonna be about 42 inches wide, but I don't know if that was pre or post blocking. So we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. This is gigantic. I am using, hang on, let me put this back so that it's not, it's heavy. I am using the Moana and Moana 2 countdowns from The Little Wolf Knits. These are 30 mini skeins. So I have 60 mini skeins total, 20 gram mini skeins, and I'm holding them double, holding each color double on itself, not mixing colors. And I am using a US 8 5mm needle. I cast on 212 stitches. Don't ask me why. I don't know. And I am just knitting garter with an I-cord edge until I run out of a color, and then I am joining the new one. As you can probably see some ends here, I'm just joining the middle of the row. I have not woven in a single end yet. And I just attached day 24 of the second countdown. So we are getting there. That means I have 6 days left to knit into this. And so it's going to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About this much longer. So I've got another like maybe 8 inches to add onto it. Nope, if I am just starting day 24, that means I have 7 left to complete because I haven't done day 24 yet. So yeah, almost there. 7 more stripes to go, and the bind off, I do love that I started with an I-cord cast on and have been doing this I-cord around the edge the whole time because I'm just going to bind off and be done. I don't have to do any edging. I just have to weave in my ends and have a lovely blanket and figure out how the heck to block this thing because it's freaking big. I am also in blanket heaven right now. I have been loving working on this, but I'm also just dreaming of more blankets that I want to make. And I have a new idea for a blanket pattern that I want to do. Ooh, and it's so much fun. I have to do some math, but I will not let myself start it until after this is done. And I also really want to work on a DK weight version of my Harlequin quilt, which is a pattern that I released, I don't remember, a year ago? Longer than a year ago? I don't remember when that came out, but it is a great pattern for advents or mini skeins if you have them. And I would love to work on a DK weight version of that pattern. Now, I will say also, if you are adventurous and you don't mind weighing your yarn, you can figure out a DK weight version of this pattern. And there are also instructions in it to weigh your yarn so that you can make your diamonds as big as possible. So if you're feeling adventurous, you can totally make a DK weight version yourself, but I would also like to just make one to have, and I might as well put some numbers in the pattern while I'm at it, right? I will link the Harlequin quilt down below for you if you still haven't picked out your advent project for this year. And that just brings me to my only other work in progress that I have touched in the last 2 weeks. I have literally only touched this blanket and this singular sock. This is a sock that I have been working on very slowly, and it is using Woolens and Nosh Day Hiking. And do I have to even over here, even this far away, I still have to block that little robot. What a menace. This is Woolens and Nosh day hiking, and I think I have done maybe like, I think I might have been on, oh no, you know what? I can feel a little ridge in it because my, because it was sitting on needles for so long without me working on it. Wow, okay, that's less impressive than I thought. I did 3.5 stripes since the last time you saw me. Or last time I showed these to you. That's not as impressive as I thought. I thought I did like half of the leg. Anyway, I'm gonna keep working on these, keep chugging along. And that's it. I haven't worked on a single other project that I have talked about with you. I worked on the quilt. I really focused on the quilt for a while. I worked on these when I had some time in the car for a tiny bit, and other than that, if I have been sitting and knitting, it has been working on my blanket. And that is it. It has been a quiet couple of weeks, but I have really, really, really been enjoying what I have been working on. And I'm kind of sad to see this blanket almost done. In terms of the shop, the only thing that we need to talk about is that the big Thanksgiving collection has been released. Thank you all so much for your support and interest in it already. I will be bringing the collection to a trunk show at Madison Wool on December 13th if you want to squish it in person if you're in the area. And then after that trunk show, all of the leftovers will be listed as ready to ship. So keep an eye out for that if you are not in the area and you want to snag some ready to ship skeins just before Christmas. Also, this is your warning to get onto the newsletter, to follow me on Instagram, to make sure you are subscribed to this channel so that you see when I post a short, because there might be announcements coming soon. Actually, by the time this video goes live, I will probably have already made the announcement, but I will send out reminders. There is a big sale coming on the website. I do not have all of the details to share with you just yet because I am still getting listings up there and figuring out how the discount's gonna work and like testing things and making sure things are good. So I don't wanna share any information that might not be true, but make sure you're following me all the places because there's a huge, 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 huge sale going on right now as you're watching this, and you should shop because it's so good. It's so good, and once I'm out, I'm out. And I don't know if and when it'll be coming back. Like I said, life has been kind of calm, quiet. I have been doing so much dyeing for this trunk show, so that's really just been kind of like monopolizing my life, which is great and fine. We did get this little sewing area set up in my office. Got a TV mounted on the wall so I can chill and hang out in here and catch up with all my YouTube friends, and I can sit at this table and I can sew, and I have so much space and it's so lovely. And now I'm trying out this new location for filming. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the lighting looks. We'll see. I did film one video here last week and you all seem to like it, so we'll see if this continues. I have just been trying to kind of like wrap my head around the fact that it is almost the end of the year, thinking about shopping for gifts and making gifts and planning out projects and trying to figure out what I want to do for that. I did post a video about project planning for the rest of the year. If you want to go check that out, I am scared of what the next couple of weeks have in store for me, but I think it's gonna be okay. And other than that, I have just been working on my blanket. Legitimately, if you ask me what I've been doing for the past month, working on my blanket. Working on my blanket, dying, working on my blanket, thinking about working on my blanket because I can't work on my blanket, thinking about what I'm gonna work on after my blanket, which is another blanket. Blanket, 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 blanket. You know? Oh well, I seem to have caught the blanket bug, and I'm not mad about it. This episode is absolutely flying by, and it is already time to talk about books. So, what I read since the last time we spoke, I started with The Measure by Nikki Erlich. I gave this 5 beautiful, glowing stars. This book was such a surprise. It is a story about basically our world, but one day everyone wakes up and they have a box outside of their door and it has their name on it and it is engraved with "The measure of your life lies within," and inside is a piece of string, and everyone has a string of a various length, and through science and I don't know, figuring a bunch of stuff out, they determined that the length of the string corresponds with the length of your life. And this kind of sets everyone off on this exploration of humanity. Really, like, some people have long strings. How do they handle it? How do the people with short strings handle it? How do the long stringers and the short stringers interact with each other? Some people choose not to look at the length of their string. What do people do with the time that they have left? It was such a good story. I was sobbing at the end of this. I was actually sobbing at the end of reading this book, and I have not had a book make me cry like that in a really long time. A really, really, really long time. It was so good. But I was sobbing in like a heartwarming way. It kind of makes you feel good about humanity. It restores your faith a little bit in humanity, which honestly I think a lot of us could use right now, you know? So it was so good, so good, so good. Highly recommend. Go check it out. So good. Next, I read No One Was Supposed to Die at This Wedding by Catherine Mack. This is the second book in the Vacation Mystery series, so I won't say too much about it. It follows our same cast of characters. Murder and mayhem ensue, and I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't think it was quite as good as the first book in the series, but it doesn't take itself too seriously, and I really love that about it. I love a fun, silly little romp kind of mystery, and I really enjoyed this one as well. And then finally, I read Sisters of the Lost Nation by Nick Medina. This one I also gave 4 stars. This is a really important story, a really tragic story. It is about 2 sisters living on a reservation in Louisiana, and it really primarily focuses on the number of Indigenous women that are murdered or go missing every year, and it is such a tragic and sad story. It is kind of a mystery, but it's really like the horror of it is what people are doing to each other. There's nothing like paranormal or anything like that. And I gave it 4 stars because I think it's like a 5-star concept that everyone should read and learn about. But I feel like the writing was like 4 stars, but I really felt like This was Nick Medina's debut book, and I felt like I could really see a glimmer of the writer that he is becoming or has already become. He's released several books since then. And I feel like it was such a strong debut, such a strong start to his writing career. Fantastic, highly recommend, and an incredibly important topic. So definitely check it out. Well, this episode was super quick. I didn't have very much to chat with you about today. So thank you so much for spending a little bit of time out of your day to catch up with me. If you are in the US, I hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving, surrounded by friends or family or chosen family or whoever makes you the happiest. And if you are not in the US, I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Make sure that you head down below, subscribe to the channel, like this video. Tell me what you are working on this long weekend, if you have one, or just working on in general. And until next time, take care of you, and I will see you later. Bye.